I'm a good Jewish boy, so I would like to first acknowledge and give it up, firstly, to Laura and Gerardo, Martin's parents, who I've known almost my whole life. They are inspirations to me, the way that I've seen them bring up this wonderful person and his sister, Michelle. And then, of course, I would like to acknowledge Susan and John for all they put into this event and everything. And mostly because without them, I wouldn't have a place to ski. So thank you so much. And Martin Amaro. I am truly honored to be here tonight amongst your loved ones. I'm constantly in awe of the quality of the people in your orbit. And look, today we have two people here that stood up in front of everyone they loved and declared, out of the billions of humans on Earth and the infinite choices we could have made, this is the one person. This is my person that I trust and confide in to be my best man. And I thank you very much for it. I always knew I was the best, and now it's official. Thank you. I kid you, of course. I have had the pleasure of knowing Martin Hosea Guinness 25 years. I don't think we've gone more than 2 weeks in that time without talking. I've known every version of Martin. I've known Martin, I've known Martine, Martu, Marty, Martini, Tin, and for a couple of us, Tina. We don't talk about that one anymore. And and for me, Noonie. Hello. Now here's the first thing I learned about this guy. Kindergarten, Herzl Jewish Day School, Denver, Colorado. He and his family had just moved here from Argentina. He barely spoke any English. Meanwhile, I was bouncing around, eating glue, finger painting sick-looking aliens with little schmeckles growing out of their foreheads. But then there's Martin, 5 years old. I can remember him getting English tutoring every day on top of being a little kid, going to kindergarten for the first time in a whole nother country. And even then, I could tell that he was built different, driven, curious, inspired, talented. I can't read your handwriting. Could you read this real quick? Sorry. We like it. Yeah. That's right. Martin writes great speeches. So buckle in. We're not done. And listen, this is who Martin is at his core. No matter the circumstances in his life or the location, he doesn't just rise to the occasion. He raises the occasion. Let's fast forward to middle school. I was quarterback. Martin was my go-to wide receiver. We had this automatic connection, as so many people that can call Martin a friend, a partner, coworker, whatever it might be. It's just automatic. And for us in middle school, it was an athletic bromance. And shout out to Gerardo for filming every game, although occasionally we'd lose footage when Martin would catch the ball and Gerardo would drop the camera and scream running down the field until Martin scored. And so, Martin, I say this, and I say this from my heart. May this marriage be the biggest touchdown of your life. Now, the first real challenge I think we had in our friendship came junior year of high school. Martin, Michelle, Laura, and Gerardo moved to Boca Raton. And for those of you that are unfamiliar, Boca Raton is the land of the retired, the Jewish, the sassy. And I remember standing in the street, watching their car pull away. Martin and I were crying. It was like an episode of telenovela. It was romantic. It was beautiful. It was sexy. And being far apart made our friendship even stronger. We figured out that to stay close from a distance, we would grow separately but never apart. And that's what I like to call Club Martine is all about as a founding member. No matter how far you are from him, your connection with him stays just as strong and timeless. Even living far away, through grade school, high school, college, GSB, Martin and I have gotten to know so many of each other's friends, family, peers, neighbors, coworkers, and girlfriends. Recently, we had Martin's bachelor party, and I was reminded of the quality group of friends that surround him, sharing old stories like times he was closing deals at nightclubs to hosting these really annoying philosophy nights. Just kidding. I never went. Sorry. One friend, Michael, actually brought up a theme that really resonated with me, something I view as a cornerstone of Club Martine. No one left behind. That's right, absolutely no one. Martin is someone that will go great lengths to ensure everyone in his innermost circle is not just invited, but thought of as a confidant whose ideas and life, in essence, is valued at the same level of his own. And I think the true magic of my friendship with Martin and many friendships he has comes from our least expected differences. An early example was, I was a young kid twirling underwear on my head at summer camp, stealing Oreos from Ethan Morris's lunchbox in 3rd grade, and rubbing pudding all over my naked body in front of the entire JCC. And Martin, as a kid, Martin never took me as a joke or a secondhand embarrassment. Martin would always tell me very seriously, "Ian, I've always admired how you don't take yourself too seriously." And as many would agree, Martin is someone who, no matter your flaws or your shortcomings, can find your silver lining in anything and hand it back to you like it's a piece of gold. A lot of people may not know this, but Martin carries around a small photo of himself in his wallet. Do you know that? Every now and then he looks and he asks, "Am I making that little boy proud?" Martin has always been nostalgic, and he loves reminiscing, and he reminds you, after some time has passed, where you came from, how far you've come, and no matter how much time has passed or how much you feel you've changed. When I moved to New York to study saxophone, I worked brutal day jobs, played jazz just so I could play jazz late at night. Martin, meanwhile, was leading global marketing at Google for a major developer platform. Our lives were on totally different tracks, and yet, whenever we talked, he brought me back to myself, my silly voices, my warmth, my worth. Years later, in addition to playing saxophone, I was ready to explore the side of myself I always wanted to and jump into the business world and into sales, and who better to call than Martin? Within minutes, he boosted me to his network and wrote a LinkedIn post so good it made me sound like a Forbes under 30. I had young CEOs and founders reaching out like I was going to make them the next unicorn. That post literally changed my life. So my friends, if you ever want to reinvent yourself or change your life, just ask Martin to tag you in a LinkedIn post. Because that's Club Martine. He's someone that sees others' potential, lifts it up, and hands it back like it's already real. Now, Mara. Fall 2022, baby. Martin and I were finally living in the same place again, New York City. Perfect timing to meet the love of his life. I remember the night, 2 a.m., he texts me, "I met a girl I really like tonight." Selfie, sexy Martin face. And then ... Mara. Mara leaning sweetly into his shoulder, the way they were looking at the camera. Neither of them knew it yet, but I could tell you call me a professor because chemistry class was in session. Now, yeah, baby. Do your homework. All right. I met Mara soon after at Flannery's bar in Chelsea, and it all made sense. Mara is radiant, witty, and grounded. We hit it off immediately. And now Mara instantly rubbed off on Martin like nobody I've ever seen do. Suddenly, he was greeting everybody he knew with, "Hello, how are you?" What the fuck? That was crazy. Right? Hello, hello. I love hello. I'm starting to say it myself. Goodbye. I remember our first time skiing. I knew she was really good, but sweet love of God, she was fucking fast. I remember in beyond the skiing and beyond the glow, Mara brings this energy that changed everything for Martin. I see how she grounds Martin when he's flying a mile high. I see how she chills him out when he's 100,000 degrees. And Mara, I say this and I mean this from my heart. Great work. Whether it's pizza and charcuterie at your place or movies/sleepovers at our place, you create joy. You host in style. You make memories before they even happen. That's Club Martin y Mara. And Mara, you already feel like family, like a sister. In fact, I recently realized your Uncle Steve is actually my uncle. Not because we're directly related, but because I said so. Listen. Anyway, I'll finish up. Thanks for sticking with me. There's no better couple to double date than Eminem, and I can't wait to see what's next. So Martin and Mara, thank you for showing us what true partnership looks like, for proving that love doesn't require any type of perfection, just presence, curiosity, and willingness to grow. Your bond is rich, filled with intention, tons of joy, and always a love that's big enough for every person in here. And now I'd like to raise a glass. To Martin and Mara, may your home always be filled with peace, a little bit of chaos, brilliantly curated weekends, efficient itineraries, and loads of abundance. May you always show each other and all of us that your humor, devotion, and love are more than enough to carry a life forward. May Club Martin y Mara always be filled with your love and your loved ones. To Martin and Mara,